Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 1, Episode Justice, aka the worst episode in the entire series. So we've only got up to go from here. This is your day 10 of 30 in my 30 Days of Star Trek review series. So let's do this. This is the worst episode.
5.6.
That awesome
delivering
planet.
a party of Earth colonists to the Stranad solar system, we have discovered another Class M planet in the adjoining Rubicon star system. We are now in orbit there, having determined it to be inhabited as well as unusually lovely.
All right, Class M planet. Typically referred, the M stands for Minshara. It's a Vulcan word, and generally in Starfleet when they say Class M, they just mean Earth-like, and humans would find it relatively pleasant. So that's what they're looking for, is Class M planets. Neat. You can tell it's a Class M planet by the way it is. All right, so they decided to take shore leave on this stupid planet full of underwear people. And normally seeing Star Trek in HD is an absolute joy and gift. But this time I just see the outlines of a bunch of dudes' junk, and it makes me really uncomfortable. So yeah, that's this episode. But look, Troy, her uncomfortable little hug pat is actually really funny, as this guy gives a normal, not weird welcome to her. Little arm pat. That's still not worth how stupid this episode is. So orbiting this stupid planet is some interdimensional ship that is pretending to be a god for these people. And they send over this little ball here, boop, to learn stuff from Data. Anyway, they're asking why they left their... Because the Enterprise has just delivered a bunch of colonists to another Class M planet in the same area. And then this little space ball thing wants to know why. So I like this part because it's Picard talking about colonization in the 24th century.
We found that world uninhabited. The life forms we left there had sought the challenge, at least that is the basic reason, had sought the challenge of creating a new lifestyle, a new society there. Life in our world is driven to...
So he goes on to say that as humans, we're trying to expand all over to protect our race, kind of like what Elon Musk says about Mars. Anyway, so he just talks about expanding the human race. So I like what he says, how the colonizers are people that accept the challenge to try and build a new society on a new planet. I think that's kind of a cool frontier-ish description. All right, we are now going to watch the crime happen for which Wesley gets sentenced for death, and it's really stupid. But first, we're going to watch a little kid do the gentlest ball throw ever and have it go forever. Look at that gentle throw, and then he's just running and running and running and running and running. And this thing just has like the hugest arc. And these guys, anyway, it's like this gentle throw, and he just throws it like 50 feet. It's like this huge arc, and it's like, I don't think he threw it that far. Anyway, he gets sentenced to death for that. This episode is so dumb. Well, so he broke a law, so the nipple police show up to get him.
I said I was fine.
He doesn't know. He's from another place.
How very sad. But this zone has been selected.
But he doesn't understand.
It's always sad. Now doubly so.
Looks like the nipple police need to execute. Anyway, so then the crew tries to get involved, and they have to basically disobey the Prime Directive to try and rescue him, because they're supposed to obey the laws of other places that they go and not interfere. And you get this touching line from Picard. So Beverly's obviously really upset because her son's about to get executed for doing something stupid.
And you should know that whatever the cost, I will not allow them to execute your son.
So that's pretty cool. They did talk about how what if the god alien species decides to destroy the Enterprise because they don't follow their own rules. And Data asks Picard, he says, would you trade one life for 1,000? And Picard's like, nope. He's like, I'm not going to let math decide this. So he decides that it's the right thing to do to keep Wesley safe, and it is the right thing to do. But okay, this episode's stupid because one, they're all running around in their underwear, and I can see all their junk, and it seems like the episode's just like, ooh, look, let's get ratings. Look at this, look at all the skin. So there's a ton of skin in this episode. Also, it's one of those ones, like, there's a lot of episodes that have, like, a creature that purports to be God, or that people think it's God. Sometimes it's, you have the people think it is, but it's just acting like what it wants to do. But in this case, the aliens are like, no, these are, like, our people, and we're their God. And the people, like, worship it, and they have a society where any crime is punishable by death. So everybody's perfect, and all they do is play all the time and run around, and as Riker said, they're very fit. But it ends up just being a total cringe fest of watching a bunch of people run around giggling and laughing and touching each other and not wearing very much clothes. And you do talk about if justice for one society is injustice for another society, how do you reconcile that? And Picard just reconciles it by, like, taking Wesley. He's like, "Yep, we're out of here." Actually, there's a plot twist. The alien doesn't let them transport until Picard lectures them. But before we hear Picard basically plead justice to the aliens, we get actually a pretty mature line from Wesley.
It is God who will punish you.
First, the nipple, please.
That thought has crossed our minds. Your God up there may insist that we obey our non-interference directive.
Sir? Does this mean if you save me, the entire crew could die?
You're not involved in this decision, boy.
I'm sorry, sir, but it seems like I am.
Woo! Spicy.
Go to transporter room. Lock into this signal.
So they try and transport, and it doesn't work. And so Picard lays this humdinger on the space aliens.
I don't know how to communicate this, or even if it is possible. But the question of justice has concerned me greatly of late. And I say to any creature who may be listening, there can be no justice so long as laws are absolute. Even life itself is an exercise in exceptions. When has justice ever been as simple as a rule book?
All right, so apparently that convinces the aliens, and they let them beam up. So I guess they convince them that justice does not have to be absolute. Now, Picard earlier did another one of those future Federation world-building expositions where he talked about how the Federation no longer uses capital punishment. And he's like, we don't view it as a good deterrent. But the interesting thing was, he didn't say no one's doing anything that would deserve capital punishment. What he does say is they root out, I'm not sure what he means by this, but he's saying they root out what would cause people to do those things. So it's not really like a Minority Report kind of thing where they can see the future and be like, you're going to do a crime and they'll arrest you. But it more seems like genetically they're like, you might do something bad. So then they, like, cure them of that. I don't know. That was a little weird. So I was just talking about how they don't do the capital punishment in the Federation anymore. So this is a super cringy episode. I get where they're going. It's a fun sci-fi idea to have an alien race to be treated like a god, and then, it questions religion and these people with their society that's perfect now, but what's the cost of it? The cost is any crime they die for. But really, this episode is just so cringy, watching everyone just like running around with their hands going like this while they're running, and the dude's shorts are so thin that, like, it's just package time, and it's just so uncomfortable to watch this episode. It sucks. I hate this episode, and I'm not going to show this one to my kids for lots of reasons. But it can only go up from here. So let me know what you think of this episode. But I think it's the friggin' worst. Yeah. Let me know. Bye.